days are better than other days, but these days, life is better with you. Some days are better than other days, but these days, life is better with you. Life is better. Tell me what you want, I'll give you all that you need with my heart and my hand saying please, baby, please, because nobody does that thing you do better than you. And thoughts to swim around in my head.
Welcome to the May edition of All Things Napa. I'm Lee Miller.
And I'm Desi Capaz.
We got a great show for you today. We've got Doris Gentry from the City Council and Bruce Johnston, who is the founder. He's trying to bring baseball to Napa.
Baseball.
How cool could that be?
Oh, that's going to be great. I know
Wonderful
so many
for
people
the families,
will love that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey,
we also have a business spotlight,
Sure.
Shayla.
And we also have a mortgage spotlight with Ed Diaz.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, our real estate minutes. So, so let's start it off with the business spotlight.
There we go. And I'm very excited today to have Chela Singoli. That's Chela Singoli with.
Chela Singoli.
Yep.
Let's say it a couple more times.
Chela
Singoli with
Good work.
Chela Marie. And
Marie.
Chela is a digital marketing expert.
And the logo that you see in the open is made by her.
Exactly. She
It
did
is.
that. And that's not even one of her areas of expertise. But
I don't typically do that, but I had to do it for you
Wonderful.
guys.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Of course,
Priceless.
of course.
So tell us about what you do, because what does a digital marketing expert do?
Right. So I'm a digital marketing expert and communication strategist. So basically, I use digital media and communication as a foundation. So I find often that when I work with businesses, they look at their digital marketing as unintegrated strategies. So their social media is one, or email marketing, or what they put on their website, or anything else kind of in that digital sphere. But that leaves it kind of fragmented. Sometimes you want to look at this as a whole. So it's a communication strategy. How do you connect with your customers? Where do they want to be connected with? What platforms are they on? What time of day do they want to hear from you? Or what exactly do they want to hear from you? So I kind of go in from the start all the way to the finish and help you basically go through each of those steps and strategies to find out where you might be missing opportunities, where you can expand, and what we can do better.
I can imagine by bringing that all together as opposed to fragmented,
Right.
it becomes much more efficient.
Absolutely.
And so it's an investment that yields a good return on investment to hire you.
Absolutely. Oftentimes I find people, one of the biggest things is they're creating content for every single thing, when really your content creation can be much more streamlined, and it's where you put it, and just kind of altering a little bit for who you're talking to.
Right.
I know us realtors could use something like that. I mean, we're all over the place.
She could be full-time just with realtors. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. So we've just got about 30 seconds left,
Yeah.
Jayla. That's good to learn a little bit more about your business.
Right.
Since we're all about community, tell us some of the things that you do with the community, too.
So I'm actually part of a couple organizations. One is Napa Business Advantage, and the other
Run by who?
run by Lee Miller as one, and also the Rising Tide Society, which is the Napa chapter, Napa Sonoma chapter here. So I'm the social media chair for both of those organizations, and it's really about local businesses, small businesses, bringing community together. Rising Tide is more community over competition. So it's coming together creative entrepreneurs, and the same thing with Napa Business Advantage. So that's where I usually like to put my efforts with my expertise as what I can offer.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that was a really fast spotlight. We're really glad that you're here. And now we're putting Chayla's information up.
Yeah, it's 916-955-0034 is her number if you want to reach her. Or you can get on her website at chaylamarie.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you
Great.
for coming on.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Well, next is going to be Doris Gentry, and the Napa City Council woman, and we're really excited about her being on the show. So that's next.
Okay, well, that was a good business spotlight from Chayla Singoli. And now we are really happy to have Doris Gentry from the City Council.
Yes.
Hi,
Go
how
ahead,
are
say
you?
woohoo!
Woohoo! Here we go. Hi, Lee. Hi, Desi.
Hello.
Thank you for inviting me on your show
Oh, we're so
today.
glad that you could make it.
Bye, Rose.
Bye, Rose.
Yeah, so it's really great to be here and to talk with you. I know that you guys are really passionate about the real estate market, and certainly I'm glad to be doing my part to help Napa be the world-class city that it is.
Yeah.
And so many people are attracted to
right.
Napa and
Yeah.
want to come here.
That's right. It's a world
Absolutely.
destination.
It's a
Absolutely.
world destination.
Yeah, that's what our show is, all things Napa. So
Okay.
we like to interview political leaders, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, things of that
Perfect.
nature. So we're excited to get an update from you as to anything that you want to share
Yeah,
with
but
us.
first, I want to hear your wonderful story, how you got into politics and this great community.
Oh, well, you know, I've been in Napa 27 years.
Right.
It is a great
That is great,
community.
yeah,
It's a
isn't it?
wonderful place to live and to raise a family and to be invested and involved. You know, it's a very giving and philanthropic community. You know, Napa is such a great community with such a great vibe. You know, downtown is just hopping.
Yeah.
We've got the great visionaries that have done Bottle Rock. We've got the beautiful, beautiful facilities here with all of the different music, the Opera House and the Uptown Theater, and you know, plays and shows.
The film festival.
The
Yeah,
film festival.
no
There's
doubt.
so much going on in Napa that for our people that live here to have things to do. I still hear from families there's not much for kids, so we do need to
Got the
work
Vine
on
Trail.
that.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
Well, we do have those sorts of things, but you know, we don't have things like, you know, the
Maybe.
arcades and the
Right, like
laser
family
tag,
entertainment centers or something
family
like that.
centers, Scandia centers. We don't really have the population
Right.
for it, but there needs to be kind of a step down version of some sort. I mean, we can't.
Sure.
We're not really a community that needs a water park,
Right.
but something in between that would be really good.
Well, those things will come along. I mean, as
will.
Napa grows, I mean, we're growing at a astronomical
We are.
rate. So those things will happen. So what are some of the pressing issues that you see in town that need to be
Well,
taken
you
care of?
know, there are a lot of people meeting with me every week about, you know, what's our marijuana ordinance going to be,
Okay.
because the laws have been passed to allow marijuana. So that's kind of a hot topic on the burner.
Okay.
And people ask me, you know, because I'm this radical conservative that, you know, is probably not going to be shopping at a marijuana dispensary, my own self. But I believe in the right of people to have a business if the business is legally allowed by law. So,
Sure.
for example, I'm not going really to the neighborhood liquor stores and buying the Scotch whiskey Maker's Mark stuff or whatever that is.
Right.
But while I don't purchase it, I wouldn't deny you the right to open your store if you've got the permits and the right entitlement and a facility that's not right across the street from the school or something. I'm not going to deny you your civic right to have a business and engage in a business and be in a business that's legal. So we really need to address that at the city council and fix that.
Right.
Well, aside from that, though,
Is there a difference from a county ordinance and a city ordinance that could conflict, or do both need to be in sync on that, or how's that?
No,
gonna-
the cities are autonomous,
Okay.
you know, and the county jurisdiction is where a city is not.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to
the
make sure
city
people,
would
our
be
viewers understood that
right. The
distinction.
city ordinance would be just for the city of Napa and would not be transplantable to Yountville or American Canyon. But another thing that's big and exciting is all the development going on downtown.
Sure.
And all of the hotels, the Archer's really coming along, and other hotels on the horizon, the expansion out at the Meritage Hotel,
Yes.
expanding so many facilities and adding on rooms, as well as new development, like over by Gasser, and other projects in town.
what have you heard about the Napa Pipe?
Have not heard a thing about that lately.
Right. It's been kind of like under the radar. Yeah.
They're probably doing a lot of their due diligence and waiting for
We're supposed to have an
reports.
announcement though soon, I
That's
think, on
what
that.
I heard too,
By
yeah.
the developer, yeah.
Yeah, but
We'll
that
see.
again, that's, you know, nothing public to be disclosed. So, yeah.
And
So even if you knew
Even if I knew. That's right. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Right.
You know, what can I say, right? Some of that stuff, I mean, some of that
And she
stuff,
has that authority.
We
Exactly.
have, yeah, right. I can you just had Chief Potter a minute ago dispatch
Yeah.
the local
Right.
police on you.
Suddenly Desi disappears.
Yeah, right. Suddenly, where's Desi? Oh, I don't know. You
Last
know,
seen talking to Doris.
it's interesting because I'm such a blabberbox. I'm like the Facebook queen, and I just put everything out there. And it just kills me when I go into closed session during city council.
Oh, they're like,
at
yeah.
3:30 we go into closed session.
Yeah.
And during closed session, everything we talk about, I can't talk
Right.
about.
Right.
But not only that, the papers that they hand us, I mean, it's so scary. The papers they hand us that we look at, someone stands up and gets them right out of your hand.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
They're
that's
like,
it.
yeah.
Put it in a safe right away.
Right,
You know, lock
I
it
know,
up. and-
right? I guess they go shred them. I'm not real sure, but I mean, they take
Right.
closed session very seriously,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, Doris, don't you be Facebooking that."
So we've only got about a minute left.
Okay.
Tell us how you're enjoying.
Oh my
being-
gosh, I love
yeah.
it. I love it. Oh my gosh, city council, you know, neon lights.
Better than you anticipated.
good.
that it
Oh,
was
way
gonna be?
better.
Yes.
You know, I was really surprised how many people would be calling me saying they want to hook up for coffee and they want to meet me. And I'm like, who wants to meet me? I know me. I don't really want to meet me, right? But it's just been phenomenal. I mean, I have met the most interesting jokers in this city. I mean, they are fun and full of ideas and vision. Some of them way out there in the ozone layer. But for the most part, you know, don't you admire somebody who's got an idea,
Oh, yeah.
who's thinking?
And it may not be the right idea, but it may lead to.
That's right. See these like wild and crazy things when you ramp them back in and get to the
Right.
core of it. You
Right.
go, well, you know what? That one right there, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And so,
And you have the platform to, you know, develop these ideas that people bring
yeah,
to you.
you
so.
know, at City Council, we don't really develop things, but we do approve and
Sure.
we do help move things forward.
Sure.
So it's really fun. It suits me perfectly, and I love fixing problems. When people call me about their issues or their sidewalks or their delays, you know, I love at least giving them the information. Like, I can't run out there and promise your sidewalk can be fixed tomorrow, but I can get answers and give you an approximate estimate of when that might happen.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you're a public servant, and we all
Yeah.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
and
I
you
love
know
it.
we're so happy for you.
Thank you.
And we look forward to more things to come in the future.
Thank you
Doris.
so
for
much
being
for
on
having
the
me on
show.
this show today.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank-
thank you, Desi.
Thank you so much.
Woohoo!
Well, that was Doris, and there's her number up there. It's she's with the Napa City Council, 258-7876. You have problems, you know, email or call her, or not problems so much, but
if you
suggestions
have a
and
great
feedback.
idea.
and-
Yeah,
if
or you
have a
want to
great
meet for
idea.
coffee, dgentry at cityofnapa.org.
There you go.
Wonderful.
There you go.
All right. So
Well, what's next? I think it's you with
It's me.
the Napa Real Estate Minute with some information for us realtors out there and buyers and sellers, right?
All right.
All right.
Hi, I'm Lee Miller, and it's time for the Napa Real Estate Minute. You know, there's different strategies to consider when pricing a home for sale. You can get an appraisal first and have that as evidence as to the property's real value and share that with your prospective buyers. Or you might want to set the price very, very low, try and create a bidding war, have multiple offers, or just do the research with your realtor, get the advice from your realtor, and just settle on what the real competitive or comparable market price says. Which one of those strategies is going to be right for you? You know, the answer is that it depends. And that's why it's important to actually talk to a real estate professional, someone that has all of the skills needed to determine which one you should use, because it really depends on the type of property. If you'd like to talk about pricing strategy or anything real estate related, feel free to reach out to me at 266-1585. Cheers to the Napa Valley Life.
We're back, and Lee, that was a great real estate minute. We talked about pricing strategies,
Yeah.
which is pretty important when
Yeah.
you're trying to price your home in this type of market.
It can make a difference of
Sure.
$15,000, $20,000, $30,000 if you don't
Right.
choose the correct method. So.
That's very true. So
Yeah.
thanks for bringing that up. But next we have the Napa Silverados. Now, do you know what that is, folks? I don't think you do yet, but you will. It's a baseball club coming to Napa, and the leader and the founder of that is Bruce Johnston with the Napa Silverados Baseball Club. How did you come up with Silverados?
Too many things already called vines.
Well, it's interesting. We are the food and wine capital of the world, but one of the things that was very important to me is I wanted to unite the entire county behind this effort. It's not just the Napa City Silverados. This is a team that's going to belong to the community, and I want the folks in Calistoga and St. Helena and Yountville to feel the same sense of involvement with the team as we would here in Napa, and as the trail unites the community, so the baseball team will unite the community.
Yeah, I think that won't be a problem here with these towns getting involved. But for the most part, how did you get this whole project started? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about me. My wife and I moved to Napa about 10 years ago. It's the most incredible place in the world that you could possibly live. I mean, you've got food and wine, you've got the weather. But the most important thing is the people, and this is the most incredibly giving community that I've ever been a part of. So anyway, we love living here in Napa. My background is I've been in the shopping center, primarily the mall business, for over 30 years. And when I went on my own about 10 years ago, we decided that we wanted to move closer to her sister, who lives here in town, and we came up to Napa in 2007.
Oh, nice.
Now, as for how the baseball thing happened, it was an absolute accident. I was at a luncheon. And it was one of the luncheons where they after lunch, they hand the microphone around. Everybody says who they are, what they do. There was a gentleman at my table named Mel Engel, and he stood up and said, I want everybody to know that the Napa Baseball Exploratory Committee is ready to go. We're going to find an owner. We're going to put professional baseball on the field in Napa. And I was thinking about it. I said, I'm looking to, step away from the business a little bit. I could maybe help. Maybe I could sell tickets or, shirts or, work in the stadium or whatever. I said, it might be fun. So I sent Mel a note, and I got a note back from him the next day, and he said, we are really excited that you want to own the baseball team. And so I went from selling tickets to owning a baseball team. I'm not sure you ever wake up in the morning and say, gee, I think I'll own a professional baseball team.
I know. Okay.
So I told my wife, and she said I was crazy, and that's fine. I've heard that before. And then we had a family dinner that weekend, and my sister-in-law, who's a 30-year elementary school teacher at Browns Valley, said, Bruce, you don't understand. There is no fun, affordable family entertainment in Napa, especially in the summertime when the kids are out of school. So I started thinking about the possibility, and I realized that there was no way that I could give them an answer in a short period of time, because there's so many moving parts to the whole thing. And so I went back to the committee and I asked them, this was in late September, I asked them to give me until the 15th of November to make a decision.
And what year was this?
This was last year.
Just last year?
Just last year.
Just 7-8 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they agreed to give me until the 15th of November. I had a chance to meet with the other owners, and they've been terrific. They've been completely wide open, and here's how we do this, here's why we do this, showed me the books, everything. They said, look, we want your team to be a success. What can we do to help? And what they educated me was that you're not just in the baseball business, you're in the concessions business, you're in the entertainment business, you're in the sponsor business, you're in the advertising business. And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to answer by the 15th of November, but it was something I really wanted to explore and really wanted to make happen. So I went back to the committee and I went back to the league and said, I'm serious about this, but I'm not the kind of guy who could write a check every month to cover a shortfall. I have to have it make money. And I need more time. So I will give you a non-refundable deposit if you will give me until the 30th of June of this year, 2017. And if I can raise enough sponsorship and advertising dollars, then I'll put the team on the field in June of 2018. So right now, the process that I'm in is I'm focused on meeting with individuals and companies about being sponsors, about advertising. I have an agreement a handshake agreement with Napa Valley College to use their field. I'm going to have to spend money to add 400 or 500 seats because there isn't enough bleacher seating there to be able to accommodate crowds. Right. And I figured out how to deal with the concessions. They don't have a concession area. My plan is to rotate in food and the food trucks, and then have alternate those.
Get a lot better than just
popcorn and a hot dog at this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
you
I
have a food
think
truck.
I think by law you have to sell hot dogs.
Well,
I think,
No, well, by the wall of baseball.
right,
Yes.
right. No, I agree, and and it's and so I'm excited about that part of it. One of the things though is that. I mentioned that Napa is an incredible community, and it's an incredibly giving community. I think you could go to a silent auction every weekend for something. And when you go, you see the cases of wine and the big bottles and the verticals and the restaurant certificates and the boxes of chocolate. And that happens every weekend. And you realize that so many people are giving so that others can benefit. Then you look at the vintners. In 4 days, they raised $16 million. You look at what the Gasser Foundation does and the incredible works they do. I'll never be a Vintners or a Gasser Foundation, but if I can give back a little by creating this professional baseball team, then that's going to make me very happy.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
One of the things I want to do is have my sponsors sponsor a game. And when they do that, they get to designate a nonprofit of their choosing, whatever they feel passionate about. I'll make a contribution to the nonprofit. I'll give them a stack of programs that they can go out, their volunteers can go out and sell during the game. Every one of those dollars goes back to them. And $1,000 may not make a big difference to a lot of nonprofits, but for the smaller ones, all of a sudden $1,000 comes out of the blue, it may make a difference for them.
Absolutely.
And that's a little way for me to give back.
So how does the sponsorship work then? We're not talking signs on the outfield wall. We're talking what you just described, the programs for that day.
Right, the programs for that day. We'll have a program in the beginning of the year. One of the nice thick color ones, and we'll put that out there. There will be the outfield fences, but the sponsors I've got different levels of sponsorship where there are founding sponsors that get a couple of signs in the outfield. They get a sign in the food area, one in the entry area, one in the parking lot, an exit sign. And then there's founding sponsors. And they get a sign and a full page in the program, and so there's all different levels. And even if all you have is $1,000 and you want to be part of the baseball thing, the nice thing is we've got a great parking area, and the fences are about the same proportions as a business card. So you give me a check for $1,000 and I'll reproduce your business card on the fence so everybody sees it when they're coming in and out of the game.
That's great.
Cool.
So this isn't, when you're thinking about becoming a sponsor and advertiser, this isn't necessarily going to provide the biggest number of eyeballs that you could possibly get for the dollars that you're spending, but know that you're part of bringing professional baseball to Napa and giving families and kids something to do in the evenings in the summertime.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Heck, forget the family, entertainment centers. This is what the kids need, and this is a perfect way to, get the kids out there and be involved and watch a good game of baseball. And that's what I grew up in a baseball town. And we had baseball all year round. So having something like this would generate a lot of interest for the kids. And we're giving back to the community, but we're giving back to the kids, though, of the community. So
I'll tell you a couple of things. The gentleman, Mike Shapiro, he's a part owner and general manager of the San Rafael Pacifics. And he told me a couple of things that really resonated with me. One of them was that he has a clause in his contract with his players. They're not allowed to leave the field until every autograph is signed.
That's great.
And he says, when you see this 6-year-old kid that's this tall standing next to the 6'2", 200-pound professional baseball player that he just watched play, he's getting his autograph. Mom is taking pictures of it on the cell phone. He says, that's the best day of his life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he says, watching that is a huge reward.
Yeah.
But he said the thing that he was the most proud of in his 5 years of being involved with the team is that he had never once turned down a nonprofit who had requested a donation from him.
Wow.
He said whether it's 2 hats and a ticket, 2 tickets and a hat, or a half a dozen tickets and some T-shirts, he said that's the thing more than anything else that he's the proudest of about his team.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Well, we're so glad that you're here trying to achieve this goal, and our timing is perfect because this show is going to be airing all through the month of May, and we only have until June 30th.
Yep.
And so
It's
if you
important.
have any interest in knowing more or an interest in being a sponsor, there you go. You can get in touch with Bruce Johnston directly at 254-8377, or go ahead and drop him
email at bruce@silveradosbaseball, that's plural.com. Thank you very much again for being here. We're
Thank you,
sorry we're
gentlemen.
out of time. Man, that just went really, really quickly.
You can tell he has a lot of passion for this.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Yeah,
Great.
definitely.
Thank you very much
All
for
right.
the chance to be here.
Our pleasure to help in any way we can. Thanks.
Thanks, Bruce. What's next there?
Next is our business spotlight.
No, it's a mortgage spotlight.
I was just checking to see if you were on top of things. No,
I'm always
next,
on top of
next is
things.
our mortgage spotlight with Ed Diaz.
Yep, with Ed Diaz.
Yeah.
Well, next is our mortgage spotlight, and we have Ed Diaz. Hi, Ed. How
How's
you
it
doing
going?
today? Thank you for
Good,
coming in.
man. Hey, congratulations on the Silverados, man. I could tell Bruce is on top of it.
Yeah, he's
This
really
guy's gonna make
passionate.
it happen, man.
Yeah.
Well, he's with Movement Mortgage, and you have a little bit of. Tell us a little bit about Movement and about you.
Yeah, so I've been with Movement for about a year. Actually, today's my anniversary. That's right.
Oh,
Today's
okay.
my 1-year anniversary with Movement. Been in the business for 19 years. Oh, aging myself here really quickly. But I've been passionate about mortgages. You know, before that, I was a Wall Street guy. I was a financial advisor who somebody did a bad loan on me, and I thought, whoa. Well, here I went to college, passed my securities license. If this can happen to me, it could probably happen to a lot of people. So a lot of mortgage companies have been trying to recruit me. So I decided, yeah, I'll go do it for a year. And well, here I am 19 years later. That 1 year turned into 19. Yeah, Movement Mortgage is a very, very different company. It's, you know, we're known for doing all of the approval up front. So when a client comes to us, we are the kind of no surprise kind of mortgage company. They come to us, they give us all their paperwork, and within 4 to 6 hours, we have them fully underwritten and approved so that when they put in their offer, we can close in 2 weeks. And that way they get their offer accepted, because terms, especially these days, really, really matter, because as we all know, there's very little inventory. So you better go in like a ninja.
Yeah, you better know.
Right.
When you're putting in your offer. So that's what we're known for.
Your office is based out of San Mateo. This is more of a Napa local show. What can you offer the Napa residents out here?
Well, now that I know that the Silverados are coming here, I think, we're going to relocate really
You're gonna
quickly in the
make
next.
your move.
I'm getting the trucks ready right now, but my wife and I have actually talked about relocating to Napa, and so one of the things that I always like to do is do the preemptive strike kind of thing and really get my name known. And so I'm out here a lot, and I'm a big believer in the face-to-face. Actually, well, I'm an ex-financial planner, right? So
Right.
I like to sit down with folks and really focus on the advice, focus on the education. So I'd like to come and actually meet with them face to face, because I live in San Francisco in the marina, so I'm honestly about 30 minutes away. It's not far. It seems like it's far, but it's not.
Right.
Well, we need to come and visit Ed. I mean, he seems like a
Yeah.
sharp-dressed man and the type that could
Yeah.
get.
Not bad
you
for
the loan you
Ross,
need.
huh?
not doing Napa casual. So, if you're interested in talking to Ed and learning more about Movement Mortgage, then you can get in touch with Ed directly on his cell phone, I would imagine, given that prefix, 415-302-7613. Thanks a lot for being here, Ed.
Thanks.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it,
Ed. I
guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to go next to Desi, and he's going to give us our Napa real estate update.
That's right. I'm next.
Yeah.
Who does this?
Not me.
Hi, I'm Desi Capaz with your Napa Market Update. This month we're going to talk about days on the market, and days on the market in the month of March in 2017 for homes placed over $900,000 is 110 days on the market. That is actually less than what we seen last month, which was 173 days on the market. So, that's just the time of year that we're in, February, March, just leading into the spring season. It's a little high, but then it starts tapering off. If you want to talk anything about real estate, just get in touch with me. You can call me at 707-260-9906, or you can reach me at www.unlocknapavalley.com. Enjoy the Napa Valley life. And that's the end of our show for this month, but man, what a show it was.
Yeah. Really do whatever you can. Spread this information around, especially about Bruce Johnston and the Napa Silverados. We need a baseball team in Napa.
Yeah, and also too is if you have any feedback or suggestions, or you want us to get a hold of any of those guests that we have, just write us at our email. It's allthingsnapatv@gmail.com.
And we'll see you next show.
Yep, definitely.
Some days are better than other days, but these days life is better with you. Some days are better than other days, but these days, life is better with you. Life is better. Tell me what you want, I'll give you all that you need with my heart. My hand saying please, baby, please, because nobody does that thing you do better than you. And thoughts to swim around you.